We were pretty famous back in high school. Trust us!
Had a whole future ahead of us, but now we suck.
All that potential now is flowing in the aqueducts.
Through the sands of time, many did forget.
But now our time has come to resurrect. But a podcast?
Sad I know, but can you blame us?
We are desperate to be much more than high school famous. Hi, Matt.
Hi.
Welcome in to the show.
You're welcoming me to the show?
Yeah.
I mean, I literally just woke up from an unplanned nap about 10 minutes ago.
Wow. When did it begin?
It was like 20-minute nap. But I just like laid down. I'm just like, I want to just chill for a little bit because I got to record soon. And then Iman woke me up and said, "Hey, you're supposed to be recording at 2:00," and it was 2:01. I'm like, oh shit.
Well,
I better get up.
I was similar. Not that I took a nap, but I pretty much was in bed till around 1, maybe 12:30.
Oh wow. No, I mean I've been up and moving around for. I think I was up at 10 this morning. I was up way too late last night.
Well, I got up at some point and let the dog out and that kind of stuff. Went to the bathroom, things like that. But
once I'm up for the day, I don't dare go back into my bed.
Well, one thing that hasn't helped me is I went all of yesterday, and up until just very recently, I had zero caffeine at all, and so I was feeling kind of worthless.
You gotta get that out of your life, man. I haven't had caffeine, and it's slowly approaching a year.
I know. Well, I don't know that, but congratulations.
Well, I mean, I had to cut out soda, and I don't drink coffee, so.
Right. Same here. So if I cut out soda, that's it. So, I know I've done it before.
You used to never drink soda.
When was that?
So when we first started hanging out, yeah, you drank Mountain Dew a lot and stuff, and we would all drink soda because we were, cool hip kids.
Are you talking about my delusional period where I'm like, oh, Hawaiian Punch is better for you than soda because it's like juice or something? It's not carbonated, therefore it's good.
No, I feel like there was a large chunk of time where you'd cut out almost everything. You weren't drinking soda at all, and I don't even remember you drinking. Maybe you were drinking Hawaiian Punch during that time, but you weren't drinking soda.
When was this?
I don't know, but I remember at one point you saw a photo of you holding a Mountain Dew, and you're like, "Oh, what a rare photo of me holding a Mountain Dew."
Well, I mean, I stopped drinking Mountain Dew.
Yeah, but you weren't really drinking. I feel like you weren't really drinking much soda. Probably. I don't know, like
some good beatboxing.
Early, like mid 20s to early 2010s.
Oof, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I feel like there was a chunk of time you weren't drinking soda.
I remember there was a period in high school, I think it was, where I was like, "Oh, give me Gatorade and give me Hawaiian Punch and give me." Things like that are not carbonated, but I was just fooling myself like, oh, yeah, these are better for you.
I mean, it's all awful for you.
Well, of course. But again, I was fooling myself. I had no data to back this up. I didn't research this.
Yeah.
I'm just like, carbonation equals bad.
No, I think in reality, anything outside of drinking water is pretty much awful for you. Like I drink Propels, which is the close,
sure.
That's essentially just water with a little bit of stuff, but it does, it's got some sodium. It's got some vitamin C and vitamin E.
Oh.
And niacin and vitamin B6.
You don't hear about niacin so much these days. People aren't really pushing niacin.
Yeah, and it has pantothenic acid, 5.1 milligrams. It's 100% pantothenic acid. I don't know if that's good for you or not. All I know is it's mostly flavored water. I'm sure there's plenty in it that's not good for you either, but it's that I drink that and I drink water. That is literally the two things I drink anymore.
I think that because everything on a nutrition label is saying this is a percent of the amount of this that you should have throughout the day contained in this item. So if the thing
so
that
I drink 100% of my pantothenic acid out of every bottle of this, and I drink several bottles of this a day.
Yes, so you should really look up to see if there is such a thing as too much of that particular thing.
I'm slowly poisoning myself.
Yeah. According to this, niacin is vitamin B3. Is that what you see? Because I looked up 16 foods that are high in niacin, and then in parentheses, vitamin B3.
Oh, well, this has 60% of my daily intake per bottle.
I mean, then you don't need to refer to this list.
I don't have to worry about vitamin B3 at all.
Yeah. Well, for the listeners who may not like to go the Propel route and would rather consume their vitamin B3/niacin in some sort of solid food, we can we can run through this really quickly here. Number one, of course, high on everyone's favorite taste list would be liver.
Oh, I have never once eaten a liver.
Neither have I. So clearly the most popular of all the things.
I've also never had fava beans or a Chianti, so...
Well, you have not lived, sir. That's why you're not locked up and behind glass, or whatever his cell was made of. Wasn't it just a big glass window?
I'm sure it was, bulletproof glass, yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Which is a combination of glasses and plastics. And
plexiglass probably is part of that somewhere, maybe.
Like the outer layers, I think.
Well, I also have not had those things, which could also be the explanation as to why I am not incarceration either. Incarcerated.
There you go.
My knife has an incarcerated edge. It's locked up. I can't use my knife. Number two on the list, probably more popular, at least among normal people, would be chicken breasts. I'm not sure if these are listed like in order of niacin content. But either way, this is riveting, so I'm just gonna.
Who would have thought that we would be talking about niacin?
Well, you're like, hey, my drink has so much.
Sean. Sometimes I just say things. You don't have to dig into them.
That's on the record. Number 3, tuna. Number 4, turkey. So I bet a bunch of us got a good helping of that the last couple of days.
I did not. I did not eat any turkey.
I did
for Thanksgiving.
Have turkey. Salmon, anchovies, pork, ground beef, peanuts, avocado, brown rice, whole wheat, mushrooms, green peas, potatoes, and fortified and enriched foods. So they just encompassed a whole lot of things in one.
That's like saying natural and artificial flavors.
Yeah, right. What does that mean? Some of the flavors are natural and some are not.
Yeah. Wasn't it Dimitri Martin who's just like, you can just say flavors at that point.
Kind of.
That just covers everything.
I hadn't heard that bit, but yeah, it makes perfect sense. Mm-hmm. Leave it to Dimitri Martin to make perfect sense and find humor in it. Yep, so there we go. I'm one who eats green beans, potatoes on occasion, whole wheat.
Yeah,
perhaps.
I had some potatoes. I haven't had green beans in a while.
Oh, no?
I do enjoy a green bean here and there.
Well, how do you go about it when you were like, I want to have some green beans? What do you do? Do you buy them in a bag or do you buy a can, frozen?
Well, Iman doesn't like green beans, so it's very seldom we ever actually cook green beans and have them. So if I have them,
just when you have the place to yourself.
Yeah, no, I never think to make myself green beans. I never think to make myself any sort of vegetable, to be honest.
When Iman's away, the boys will
eat green beans.
Eat green beans.
I go green bean crazy when she's not around. She's like, I have to be really hush hush about it though, because she doesn't like them in the house. Oh, she's like, I don't want green beans in this house.
So it's not even like I just don't like them. I'm not going to ask.
Yeah,
to make
she's
them.
like, she gets like furious.
So when's the last time she brought in like a dog to try to sniff out any hidden green beans you might have around the house?
Whenever your dog was here was the last and only time a dog's ever been in any of our apartments.
So did she use my dog to find green beans?
No, she was gone like the entire time your dog was here.
Oh, no, she wasn't.
She was there when
right.
you dropped him off, but then she left. And then by the time you came back to get him, she was still gone. So
that's true.
Get her, not him.
Memories. Yes, she's a female dog.
Yeah.
That's what they tell me.
Last time you checked.
I've never really gone in to like verify that.
You never like parted.
Yeah.
Everything and took a look.
Comb through this fur and find out what's going on in here.
Yeah.
No, because I'm like, why would they lie about the gender of this dog, or the sex of the dog, I should say. And so I took their word for it.
Right.
And so I may have been forcing a male dog to rock a pink collar for most of their life. But dogs are colorblind mostly, so I don't think that they would even notice.
I say, they're not. Yeah, mostly is a better thing to say, because I was going to say, if they're not really colorblind, they just don't see colors the way we see colors. They see some color.
I agree.
It's just more. I think it's more muted.
Well, we talked a long time ago too about how pink used to be a masculine color.
Yes.
So
pink used to be the color for boys.
That's when that's where her mind's at. Where her mind. She's stuck in that time. So, and
your dog?
It doesn't matter. I don't know what I'm talking about because she's a girl. So here we're talking about the possibility that she was a boy dog wearing a pink collar.
Right.
And I'm saying her mind is stuck in the time when pink was the color for boys, but it doesn't matter because she's not a boy in real life. Anyway.
Only in fantasy life. Only in this fantasy.
Only in her dreams.
Right.
Her little puppy dreams where she kicks her feet and makes little whimper sounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like she's always trying to kill me in her dreams. Because when she wakes up, she just kind of stares at me and then she sighs like, oh, this wasn't real.
Oh, this again.
This person who feeds me.
Reality.
Is still here. Still here! Well, anyway,
Sean,
so, yes, Matt.
It is officially December now, wink.
Or as the Mexicans say...
Careful.
Decembre.
So, 'tis the season of holiday, of whatever Christmas-like holiday you may celebrate.
Well, let's go over what goes on. We've got Christmas, which falls around this time. We've also got
around December 25th every year.
We've also got in this month.
Right.
We've also got Hanukkah.
Yep.
Which sometimes overlaps Christmas, sometimes it does not.
Mm-hmm.
We've also got I'm pretty sure Kwanzaa falls in here somewhere.
I think it falls within December.
And that's it.
Not super familiar.
Are there more?
Leave it to us to not really know what the fuck we're talking about. So let me...
Yeah, you guys don't try to do that for yourselves. That's our job. That's us confidently saying we'll be able to pull through for you. No, you leave that to us. You go ahead and you be an expert on your topic. We will be the fools.
So, there's... According to a quick... 11 holidays the world celebrates in December. Let's go over this real quick. There's St. Nicholas's Day, which is December 5th or 6th. Also known as the Feast of St. Nicholas, Christians honor the birthday of St. Nicholas, the inspiration behind Santa Claus given his proclivity towards giving gifts.
So I was never aware of this. We celebrate St. Nicholas's the birth of his...
Christians apparently honor it.
Okay. Now, is that celebrating, it said the birth of St. Nicholas, but does that mean the birth of the idea of St. Nicholas or the birth of the man?
I think it's the birth of the man.
Okay. Also in December, oddly enough. Isn't that funny?
Another Catholic thing is Immaculate Conception Day. I think we've brought this up before.
I think that was
Catholics
celebrate
the day of the Immaculate Conception to honor the Virgin Mary, who is believed to have been born without original sin. The day is often celebrated by going to church and feasting.
Oh, very different from other holidays.
And I think, did we determine that Immaculate Conception Day wasn't about the day that Christ was conceived, but it's the day that Mary was born?
I think it was the day Mary was, well...
Because otherwise it wouldn't make sense. If Jesus was supposedly born on December 25th, how could Immaculate Conception Day be December 8th?
I think it was the day Mary was born.
Okay, because I'll say either the baby was born very quickly or way late.
There's also, wasn't there something like the Feast of Immaculate Conception Day or some other day that's around it?
Probably. I know we've talked about some of this stuff before.
Yeah.
Also on December 8th, there's Budai Day or Bodhi Day. Bodhi.
Body?
Maybe.
Body Day?
Also known as Rotsu, Rohatsu.
Okay, what do we got there? What's that about?
This Buddhist tradition honors the day in which the Buddha is said to have achieved enlightenment. Many Buddhists celebrate it through meditation.
Oh, of course. They're trying to reach their own enlightenment.
December 10th.
Buddhists aren't going to start giving... There's not going to be a Buddhist gift exchange.
No, of course. They don't like to, have possessions.
Jinx.
December 12th, feast day of Our Lady Guadalupe. Mexican and Mexican Americans often celebrate the day of Our Lady of Guadalupe, the patron saint of Mexico, who symbolizes patriotism and devotion. Millions of pilgrims typically visit the Basilica of Our Lady Guadalupe in December to celebrate the festival, which marks one of several apparitions of the Virgin Mary, and some Catholic believers say was witnessed by an indigenous Mexican man in 1531.
That's December 12th.
Oh. Then, yes, there's Hanukkah. On this list, it says December 18th through the 26th. I don't think that's the same every year.
I don't believe it is either.
No, this list, I'm not sure when. This was published in 22, so this is an old, couple years old. But
well, holidays don't change much.
Most of them don't. Hanukkah seems to just kind of fall on. I'm not sure if it's certain weeks or what, when exactly it falls every year. But then there's Yule.
Well, my guess is it goes off something. It's lined up somewhere on the Jewish calendar.
They have a separate calendar.
Oh yeah, it's
okay.
not the year. It's not the year 2024 for according to the Jewish calendar.
Okay, what year is it?
I don't know.
Why don't you look that up real quick?
I shall.
Yep. Yule. Wiccans and neo-pagans celebrate the winter solstice. This is from December 21st through January 1st. The darkest day of the year on December 21st. Through the festival of Yule. Blah, blah, blah. There's a lot more information. Not too worried about all of that. There is Christmas, December 25th, obviously. Boxing Day, December 26th. It's a British tradition. Occurs the day after Christmas and dates back to the 1800s when Queen Victoria ruled the throne.
Interesting, because I only knew that was celebrated in Canada. I thought that was a Canadian original.
No, I guess it's a British tradition.
Huh.
At the time, it was a day to ensure that upper class Britons gave servants and workers a day off. In addition to giving them a present, the holiday has since evolved into a more commercial occasion for gift giving. Then there is Kwanzaa, December 26th through the 1st, which is an African-American celebrates African-American heritage, cultural holiday as opposed to a religious one.
All right, I've got, before you continue, I have a result. The current 2024/2025 Hebrew year is 5785.
The year is 5785, so they're in
Correct.
the future.
Oh yeah,
by a long shot.
They by more than double our current number of years that exist.
Yeah.
If we double the years, it'd be 4,048 right now. And they're over 1,000 years, 1,700 years beyond that.
Wow.
So let me see what this says. Why does the Hebrew calendar refer to 2023 as the year 5783 when it should be 5983 or later? Oh my gosh.
Oh, the plot thickens.
For some reason, the Gregorian calendar refers to the year 5783 as 2023 when it should be closer to 2027. Somebody a long time ago picked a year as a starting point, and we've been working from that starting point ever since. Kind of how all time measuring of time works.
So the Hebrew calendar is still based on the Gregorian calendar?
I don't know. Saying that the Hebrew calendar refers to the year 2023 as 5783 isn't entirely accurate. The years have different starting points and overlap, so in less than 2 weeks, it'll be 5784 on the Hebrew calendar and still be 2023 on the Gregorian calendar for a few more months. There's also an issue in that the Hebrew calendar occasionally has a 13th month, so the amount of overlap between the two calendars varies from year to year.
That sounds confusing.
Yeah, and this isn't telling me
But then
how
again, so does the metric system.
True. Wait, what? The metric system is confusing?
To Americans, to people who don't use it.
Oh, yeah. Right. But drug dealers have it down.
I mean, they have the weights part of it down.
Yeah. I mean, once you figure that out, you can pretty much figure out the rest, right?
It's
all kind of the same format for all things. Distance, weight.
I guess, but if you're not applying yourself to do the distance as part of it, I don't know.
What I mean is you learn the millicenta kilo, you learn all those sort of prefixes which apply to all types of.
Yeah, but weights, if you're only dealing in weights, you don't really care about lengths.
I understand that, but I'm saying if you know that much, you can easily apply it to distance. Also, it's easy to convert, to cross over. Whereas pounds have no relation to feet and miles and whatnot, pounds and ounces and stuff like that. There's no connection whatsoever.
Right.
It's not like a shorter distance is an ounce in. There's no ounce of distance or mile or pounds of distance or tons of distance. Those things aren't interchangeable. Whereas in the metric system they are. There's a centiliter and there's a centimeter and there's a centigram.
Right.
So that's all I'm trying to say. If you know one of them, it's easier to learn the others.
I suppose.
Whereas if you know inches and miles and feet and things like that, that's not going to help you at all. Learning ounces and pounds and tons and things like that, it's not going to help. You can't argue this. There's no way you can argue against this.
I'm not.
Please try.
I'm not saying anything.
I refuse to speak.
I haven't said things in at least a minute.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good
so
podcasting.
I'm confused then about the whole calendar. The Hebrew calendar versus
Hey, you know what? I'll make that a mission of mine.
You're going to dig into it, figure it out?
I'm going to dig into it so we can get to the bottom of this Hebrew calendar versus Gregorian calendar differentiation in years and whatnot. This was, just a quick on the fly look up.
Yeah.
I was hoping to get more concrete information than this, but yeah.
So last two things this list mentions of other holidays within December, Zarathosht Disco or Diso. There's no C in it. It's just Diso. Founded by the prophet Zoroaster more than 3,000 years ago.
Oof.
Zoroastrianism is one of the world's oldest monotheistic religions. They honor the death of the prophet on this day, typically by visiting a fire temple and offering prayers. I'm not sure how you offer prayers.
You write some down and you say, hey, you want these? I'll give these to you. Since you can't seem to think of your own. And then you've expressed that you have trouble thinking of your own prayers. And you said, please help me.
And then last is New Year's Eve. The day every year is met with anticipation around the world as revelers party, set off fireworks, set resolutions, and count down to midnight to welcome in new beginnings. In many post-Soviet countries, the holiday is celebrated with traditions similar to Christians, such as the arrival of gifts from Grandfather Frost.
Grandfather Frost?
Yeah.
Who's that?
It's Jack's grandfather.
Oh. Well, how do you know that Jack Frost isn't also Grandfather Frost?
He's never been married. He has no kids.
Okay. Who hasn't?
Therefore, Jack has never had kids.
Jack?
So therefore, he can't have grandchildren.
Is that factual?
I'm telling you.
Right, but that doesn't mean that it's true.
I just
Is this something
said it.
you know? Is this something you know about Jack Frost?
I know him personally.
Because I don't really know anything about Jack Frost, to be honest.
He's very cold.
I could have surmised. That
Well,
he
you
was
just
cold.
said you don't know anything about him.
True.
You
guess-
maybe thought that of him, but now you know. Now I told
Wait.
you, and now you're aware, and you also know that he has a grandfather.
Oh, of course.
I mean, anybody does. Everybody does.
Yes. Even if you're saying so, even if they're past.
Okay. Yeah, you would.
At some point,
if you exist, you have a grandfather. You can't possibly exist without one.
I'm going to try.
You
look out, Ralph.
Are you going to kill your grandfather?
I'm on a mission to live without a grandfather. Anyway.
Anyway, so that's that. There you go. Is a quick layout of according to this. I don't know if I can trust it. Time.com. Those are the holidays of December.
That sounds official.
Our first ever reputable source on the show.
Pretty much.
I didn't get this from fucking Scary Mommy. This is like straight up. Time.com.
Right. We didn't get it from Scary Mommy or the other one.
Yeah.
Something with the song lyric quizzes.
Oh.
I forgot the name. But
I was going to say Cracked. That's not right. Cracked.com.
No. Cracked.com. It's under.
We didn't get this from madmagazine.com.
No. I mean, what little I did find about the Hebrew calendar was on Quora. So
okay,
but that's pretty much it's like a
it's well known.
You post queries and other people answer. Like it's not like there's anyone of any authority that's running this site that posts.
Yeah, I mean it's no different than Wikipedia.
Yeah,
but I mean it still can be fact checked.
It can.
If you have enough people going on Quora being like, no, you got this wrong, and then they can fix it and update it. I mean, Wikipedia is kind of the same way. You can put whatever you want on there, and people will go in and fix it if it's wrong and shit.
How easy is it for someone to make a Wikipedia page?
I've never attempted it, so I have no idea.
I was wondering if you have to pay to do it, because I think we should come up with our own Wikipedia pages.
I mean, we could make a high school famous Wikipedia page.
We could do that. Or we're individuals.
I mean, we're the topmost authority to do it.
We are.
Nobody else knows anything about it.
And we have the full freedom to completely make it all up.
Yeah, but I think it would be good to be accurate.
But it would be very short if it were accurate.
Have you seen some Wikipedia pages?
That's a weird question.
Very
yes,
short.
I have.
Have you seen some short ones? Because there's some real short ones with no additional links inside of them.
I must look up very complex things because the Wikipedia pages I visited,
stuff like the metric system, because you seem to know quite a bit about it.
They're pretty lengthy. Well, that I learned before the internet. That I learned about the metric system. What I'm saying is before the internet did.
Oh, I thought you meant before the internet existed, because I believe the internet technically existed before us. It just wasn't accessible to everyone at the time.
Well, it started off
it was purely
universities.
I thought it was purely a military thing at the time, at the very beginning.
It was either that or to share information between universities. I can't.
You're
remember.
thinking of Facebook.
No, I'm not thinking of Facebook. I would never accredit anything useful to that ass clown.
How rude! That is a human. I think.
Well, he doesn't want us to live in a world where we experience humans. He wants us to all interact with cartoonish versions that look like me's in the metaverse. Let's all live in the metaverse.
I don't get this whole like rebranding shit sometimes.
What, just calling it Meta?
Yeah.
Was Google always Alphabet, or did it change its name to Alphabet?
What are you talking about?
I think the actual, like, if you look at the like Google's weird actual name, I think it's something like Alphabet. Let me look up. I'm going to go on Wikipedia and find a really short page all about Google.
You say you could search Google.
If I search Google, it'll bring me to google.com. Let's see.
Well, I'm just saying you could search in Google what is Google's real name or some shit.
This article is about the company. For the search engine provided by the company, see Google Search. For the parent company with the stock tickers Goog and Google, see Alphabet Inc.
Okay, so it's just the company. It's the Alphabet Inc. would just be the company that owns Google.
I guess. So yeah, I was right.
So Google is still Google is still Google. It just has a parent company.
Google's parent company is Alphabet Inc. Yes.
Okay.
Googleplex, home to Alphabet Inc. in Mountain View, California. So there's some campus, I guess, called Googleplex.
I mean, that's fitting.
Yeah, I mean, they really went all in on that weird.
I mean, Google. It's the perfect name for a facility because you think of the word plex like a cineplex,
like complex, cineplex. Yeah.
And Googleplex is a thing.
It is.
Is it Googleplex? I think is 1,000 Googles, or is it?
And what's a Google?
Google I think one with, isn't it? How many zeros behind it? So one with 1,000. I think it's 1,000 zeros.
Google versus Googleplex. A Google, G-O-O-G-O. Well, this is some AI response, I think. Nope, no, it's not. What are Google and Google? Oh, interesting. So, according to this, the numeric values are Googol and Googol plex. So the LE is unique to the company. How many zeros are in a Google and a Googleplex? Oh, they wrote it out.
You'll never be able. You wouldn't be able to count it in your lifetime.
No, I know. What from 1 to Google?
Yeah.
Or the number of zeros in a Google. I'm not trying to. I'm saying they wrote the numeric value of Google out.
Yeah, how many pages is it? There was something where there's like somebody was making a book of, I believe it was Google or Googleplex, of like one with all the zeros behind it, and it was like books upon books upon books because it takes so much to actually write it out.
Okay, so a Google is 10 to the 100th power, which is 1 followed by 100 zeros.
Mm-hmm.
While this is an unimaginably large number, there's still an infinite quantity of larger numbers, of course.
Yeah.
One such number is a Googleplex, which is 10 to the power of a Google, or 1 followed by a Google of zeros.
That's the number that's like impossible to write out.
You know what's dumb is under one of these further down this page. What's bigger than a Googleplex? Well, you could start off with a Googleplex plus 1 and go the elementary school route.
Yeah.
Even though a Googleplex is immense, Graham's number and Skew's number are much larger. Named after mathematicians Ronald Graham and Stanley Skews, both numbers are so large that they can't be represented in the observable universe. But it doesn't explain exactly what they are.
Because they can't even be explained.
Right, but you could say like it's 1 to the power of whatever, maybe.
Like a million, like a million Googleplexes.
Exactly, compare it to a
1
Googleplex.
followed by a million Googleplexes of zeros.
Right.
Which would be insane. There's not enough paper in the world to print it on.
I mean, if you tried to string that across the universe, I wonder if there was room for it. I remember one time maybe more than once, when I was a kid. Do you remember that like jungle gym we had in the backyard?
I remember you had a little tree house.
Well, maybe it was gone by the time you started coming around, but there was some little metal structure that we just climbed around on it. It was called the jungle gym. I remember
just a bunch of rusted metal.
Yeah, pretty much. Holes rusted through
Just
it.
a pile of metal in the backyard.
It was just it was scrap metal. Just we sort of leaned pieces against themselves to try to make a structure out of it, and then it collapsed immediately when we tried to climb on it, and then we had to be rushed to the hospital for tetanus shots and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Fun childhood I had. No, I remember sitting out there one time, thinking I was going to sit there and count to 1,000,000. And
you had been out there forever.
Well, I thought it was just going to take me maybe an hour.
No.
No, not at all. Because I'm like, I can count really fast. Look, I'm already at 30,
Even so, let's do some quick math, right? Even if you counted one number every second.
That's 1,000,000 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to figure that out in hours? Matt's doing math.
That's 16,666 hours.
Is that many minutes or that many hours?
That I divided by 60.
And then by 60 again?
So far I divided 1,000,000 by 60.
Yep.
So that's
the number of minutes.
16,000 minutes?
Yeah, because there's 60 seconds in a minute. So if you count one number every second. So
Sorry,
1,000,000 divided.
So it's 277 hours.
Easy. That's it?
So 11 days. 11.5 days.
That's nonstop.
Nonstop. Yeah.
A number every second, nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it gets to a point where a number you're on takes longer than a second to even say. Yeah. That's if you're counting, verbally, you're counting out loud.
So if you were to say, so what would you say? Because we'd have to find an average then.
Of the amount of time it takes to say a number? We would have to figure out what is the longest, most difficult or complex number to say.
Yeah.
And figure out how long roughly it takes to say that.
Because 1,000,000 doesn't take long. So say how long does it take to say 999,999,
Hold on. Say it again.
999,999.
That was about 3 seconds.
Okay.
2.5 to 3 seconds.
So let's say it takes 2 seconds to say every number.
Sure. You're in a hurry. You're really trying to get this done. You're really trying to burn through these million
numbers. So you want to divide it by 30 first, right? And then by 60?
Yeah. Because the number of times you could say it in a minute would be half.
And then divide it by 60. So now you're looking at 555 hours. Say you spend 8 hours a day doing this.
Okay.
That's going to be 69.4 days.
I mean, I don't got much else going on.
So it would take you, but roughly 2.5 months to count to 1,000,000. You were an idiot as a kid thinking you could do that in one day.
Should I do it?
There's unless you film yourself doing it, there's nobody that's going to be able to be like, yeah, he actually did it. You can just say you did it.
Do you think we can obviously look it up if we want, but do you think anyone has gone on record as counting to 1,000,000 in one sitting? You have to eat and things and go to the bathroom, obviously, but do you think someone is on record for like in the Guinness book or anything like that? Like, does anyone count to 1,000,000?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of dumb shit in the Guinness Book of World Records. That's just like, why would somebody like?
Well, and for the first person to ever do it, they would hold the record for the quickest.
Yeah, they'd be the fastest and the slowest and the
Yeah, they hold 2 records in one.
That'd be an interesting. That'd be a really interesting achievement to have. Is the slowest person to ever the slowest time to ever count to 1,000,000.
You can't. I mean, someone could do it slower and then beat that record, but you could say that right now I'm on pace. I'm currently on pace to be the slowest person to ever count to 1,000,000. So are you?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we all are. I've started over so many times.
Oh, I know. So I lost my place. I got disqualified because I did start over. Yeah, but my mom ruined it. She called me in for supper. And
yeah, that would be the thing, though, is you would have to somehow prove that you've never started over. Because anytime you start counting again, for any reason, it's a new start, because you can't be like, oh, I'm holding off on my counting to 1,000,000 here. I have to count these other things over here real quick. It's like, no, you're starting over. You had to have you've had to have never ever said a single number twice in your entire life.
Well, during the time you're counting the 1,000,000, not your entire life.
Well, if you want to be the slowest,
Sure, but who goes into it trying to be the slowest? No one. You're trying to be the fastest. In most,
it's. I think it'd be interesting.
But so the easiest way to take the record for the slowest is to let someone else do it first and be the only, and then you just have to do it, slightly slower than they did, and then you win.
Yeah.
It's not something you have to just stretch out over your entire lifetime, hoping that someone else doesn't do it slower than you, because everyone's doing this all of a sudden.
Yeah.
All of a sudden in this world, this scenario we've painted, everybody is just casually counting their way to 1 million.
But like literally, if that were the case,
look, was I
if you ever start over, you're already losing. If you and somebody else have been doing it for, if you started doing it when you first could start counting,
but they don't,
and somebody else did, if at any point you start over, you're already losing to them.
That's
You'll
true.
never be able to say it slower than them.
So you have to be able to trick them.
Unless they know they're about to die and they like have to finish real quick, and then you could extend it out further.
Man, there's many reasons why cancer is a bummer, but now I found out I don't have as much time to finish my counting.
Mm.
Was I dumb as a child or ambitious?
Dumb.
Oh, what about now?
You're no longer a child.
Neither. Oh, yeah, that's
yeah.
what I
You're
meant.
no longer a child or ambitious. You're just dumb.
Oh, okay. I outgrew the other. I outgrew the
ambition
child.
and yeah.
Well, according to you, I was never
outgrew
ambitious.
the child.
I outgrew the child. The child is now smaller than me. I can take the child in physical combat, and I will be the slowest to count to 1 million. For the child will not survive. This is not where we intended to go.
No, but you saying I could take the child in a fight reminded me of something I said at work to my coworker when we were jokingly talking about getting in a fight.
Sure.
We're like, yeah, you want to fight or whatever? So I told him, like, yeah, I've beat up a 5-year-old before. I can take you.
Nice.
I'm like, yeah.
Wait. You insulted that man.
Yeah.
You're comparing his fighting abilities to be that like below a 5-year-old's.
Mm-hmm.
Now, was this a particularly like tough 5-year-old?
I've never
been on the wrong side of the tracks.
I've never actually beat up a 5-year-old.
No, I know, but
okay.
In this claim, I know you haven't. They've always
you don't
won.
know that.
But in this claim, well, you just told me you didn't.
Yeah, but you're saying like I know you haven't. Like you already knew that information.
Okay, either way. So
you don't know me or my life.
This version, in this, I know you won't let me. You won't let me in. In this scenario, again, this 5-year-old, was it just your run-of-the-mill 5-year-old, or was this some like bodybuilding, martial arts trained?
No, it was one of those. It was one of those. Are you smarter than a
5th grader?
5th grader kind of kids.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's different than a 5-year-old. Never mind.
It's very different.
Yeah.
Not many 5-year-olds make it to 5th grade by age 5.
Yeah.
If someone did, they would probably be smart enough to find a way
out of a fight.
Out of a fight. Or just ways to beat you in the fight using mechanics. And
I would say like a fulcrum of some sort.
Yeah. He got me again with the fulcrum.
The fulcrum is always my folly.
So that's how big a Googleplex is.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, this episode's so far gone very off the road. I mean, we came into it with a little bit of holiday information. This being the first episode of December.
Correct. We started
and
that.
We're gonna do our greatest to do another month of holiday episodes.
And if those who are regular listeners, if there are any, I'm not sure.
Those who are regular.
Those who eat plenty of fiber in their that they get all their fiber from their daily Propel.
Yeah. I don't think there's any fiber in this.
They know what our greatest is.
There's no information about fiber.
Oh, that means there's 0 or less than 0.
How can there be less than 0? They're taking fiber from my body every time I drink this.
I would love that to be on a nutrition label.
-4 grams of fiber.
You will lose plenty of vitamin C.
Yeah,
I can say this.
you're gonna lose a lot of precious fiber.
Yeah. So try to counter that because you don't want to spend all day on the toilet. Un, deux, toilette. I just said 1, 2 toilet.
Good job.
Well, because it's un, deux, trois. And then
Put it in the Guinness book. Nobody's ever said that before. Nobody's ever said 1, 2 toilet.
There's no way that, well.
There's no way to quantify that.
I might be the only one that's verified as saying so.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of that.
Can
you say you're in the
We're
Guinness
gonna count
record?
to toilet.
We're going to count all the way to
2
the
toilet.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of the toilet?
The world may never know.
Someone is doing that.
Somebody's licking to the center of a toilet.
We're challenging our listeners. Someone hold or set the record. There it is. Set the record for the fewest amount of licks to the center of a toilet. What the center is, that's got to be determined by officials.
Well, I'm sure you could figure it out through measurements.
But is it only the center of the bowl that holds the water, or is it including the tank and everything else?
I think it would be you take the whole mass of the toilet and you could find the center point of it.
You could, of course, you could.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, is it only the bowl? Are you trying to just get to the center of the bowl only, and you're only taking in that part of it as?
Well, that's easy. You just lift the lid and lick. One lick.
Yeah. That's. Oh, you're talking about just the X and Y center.
Yeah, I'm talking about like the full on. So you'd have to take.
I'm going off for the Z axis too.
Well, no, yeah, it would be all axes, but it would have to be you'd have to find the centermost point of the physical toilet. So it can't just be in the middle of the bowl because the bowl is not physically the toilet. You know what I mean? Like the air space within
the water in the bowl isn't the toilet. But
yeah, exactly.
The bowl is.
The bowl is, but I'm saying like you'd have to. So the centermost point would be the centermost point of the mass. So you'd have to figure in all the mass of it. So it would have to still be within the space of the toilet itself, not like just because otherwise the center point is going to be a space of air.
Yeah. Well, it's filled with water if you don't flush it first.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking of a standalone toilet that's not actually affixed to anything. Oh, so I'm just thinking of just an empty.
A display toilet,
a showroom toilet that you're gonna go out to the showroom and lick to the center of for the grand prize of winning that toilet.
I would do that.
You'd want a free toilet? You'd lick to the center of it?
Well, if it's never been used as a toilet,
of course.
Then there's not as big a worry of.
But you'd do that just to win a toilet?
No, probably.
I would
not.
just buy a toilet.
Both my bathrooms already have toilets.
Yeah, I've never been in the position to have bought a toilet in my life.
What a crazy! You'll never find one of those in like a raffle or anything like that.
A toilet raffle?
A toilet?
Yeah. Yeah, I've never been in the position to have to buy a toilet.
Neither.
I was gonna say, I don't think you have either. You've always bought in places that already contained toilets. It's not one of those things people take with them when they move out.
No, that's true. It's not typical. I think we had a toilet replaced in the last house I was in, if I remember right. I think we did replace a toilet.
So you had to go to the store and buy a toilet?
We had the person who was doing the work do it.
Oh, you're just like, get a toilet.
Pretty much.
So you've purchased a toilet. You've just never gone down to the showroom and, compared toilets.
Tried them out.
Like compared flow rates and tank sizes and.
I have not done so. No.
Yeah.
I do find it funny.
It's a blast.
Whenever I do, hopefully not.
Oh yeah, it's a bad toilet.
You don't want it to be a blast.
Yeah. Oh no.
Unless that's some sort of like bidet hookup,
Oh.
But
sounds nice.
I always thought it was funny when you would look at a toilet and it would say American Standard, and it would always under American Standard it would list the liters per flush before the gallons per flush. This is something I noticed. For some reason. Yeah. Well, there you go.
And thank God you've delved into the metric system.
Well, that's what really made me curious. I'm like, what is LPF versus GPF? Right. And that led me down a whole toilet bowl.
Well, you think about too in the speaking of the fucking metric system versus standard
Get off
system
the
again.
metric system already. We're in America.
When you go to the store and you want to buy a big bottle of soda, what do you buy?
A 2 liter.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't buy a 1 point whatever gallon that is.
Well, I don't think that's enough to be a gallon. I would say you probably.
I don't remember what it is.
If it was in
it's either that or fluid ounces.
Is it all imperial? Like if we're talking ounces and gallons, is that part of the imperial system too?
Ounces is part of metric system, I believe.
Right. Did I say ounces?
Yes.
Okay, I meant to say quarts.
I'd say gallons, quarts, all that is part of the imperial system.
Is it?
I believe so.
But no, because you've got kiloliters and milliliters, and you don't have those.
That's
things.
metric.
No, those are, but quarts and gallons aren't.
No, that's why I said they're part of the imperial system.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Play it back.
Then we're on the same page. I would think a 2 liter, something equivalent to a 2 liter would be maybe 2 quarts or 3 quarts.
Okay, once again.
You don't have to.
I have to verify everything we talk about on here, Sean.
Look, let's let the listeners tell us how many quarts are in 2 liters of liquid. That's one other thing I don't get, the whole ounces versus fluid ounces.
So a U.S. standard gallon is 3.7835 liters.
So almost exactly 3 quarts is a liter. Or no, 1 gallon is over 3
so
liters.
2 liter is a little over a half a gallon.
So just over 2 quarts. I said 2 to 3 quarts. I was in the ballpark.
Sure.
Licking my way to the center of the toilet.
Yeah, so anytime you go buy like a half gallon of milk, you're basically buying a 2 liter of milk, which sounds weird to say. I went and bought a 2 liter of milk at the store.
Well, no one ever says that.
I know. I want to, though.
Then you
I want to start saying that. I'd be like, I'm just going to run to the store quick and grab a 2 liter of milk. I'm sure that's how they refer to it over in every other country every other part of the world, but the 3 that use the imperial system.
Who else uses it?
I can't remember, but I believe it's 3 different places that use the imperial system.
Look it up.
Going. Oh, I literally typed in who uses, and the first thing that comes up is imperial system.
Wow.
Yeah. The United States, Liberia, and Myanmar. So yeah, I was right. There's only 3 countries that officially use the imperial system measurements. Isn't it weird how you just know random facts? I just knew it was 3. I didn't know which 3. And the 3 that aren't anywhere near each other, as far as I know.
They're not right. And is there heavy influence of one country in the other countries?
I don't think so.
U.S. influence in Liberia? I'm not sure there is.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask my brother-in-law.
Is he Liberian?
Yep.
Oh, well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Let's have him on the show.
Oh, sorry, I screwed up. He's a librarian.
Oh.
No, yes, he's from Liberia. You know what? I don't think you know him very well to make that.
Who are we talking about?
Nianati.
Who is he?
It's Kenya's husband.
Oh. I was on the other side of the family.
Yeah, no, then yes, I would agree with your I would agree with your mindset on that.
That's why I'm like, he's Liberian? I had no idea. Well, that's fun. Well, yeah, get him on the horn. Horn is imperial, right?
As a measurement?
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
I've got 6 horns worth of lima beans. That's all I've got. 6 horns worth of lima beans. That's when you fill a horn with lima beans.
Yeah, but how? But what size is the horn?
What
yeah,
size horn? Yeah, exactly.
Are we talking an animal horn? Are we talking like a musical instrument horn?
It's my car horn.
Okay, those are typically fairly small.
Yeah, and well, it's more specifically the tiny image of an instrument horn that's on the place where you press to make the car horn.
I don't think
sound.
you can fit a single lima bean in there.
Not a whole lima bean, but you grind those suckers down to a powder.
Oh, like a little mush.
then you can fill it with less than one lima bean.
Yeah, still.
They don't lose volume if you.
So you're talking about the
them down.
image of a car horn, not the actual physical car horn.
Yeah, because there's no, as far as I don't know what mechanics inside the car make a car horn sound.
A horn.
Well,
have you never
still?
seen an actual car horn? I imagine it's still a horn.
To this day, you think it's an actual horn?
You think it's just a speaker?
I don't know. They're
it's
pretty
still
wimpy.
A horn.
Why did horns become so wimpy over time?
I don't know. Ask a fucking marching band.
I don't think they're gonna know. They just play the music they're taught, and then they, don't get late.
Hold on, let me look it up. Why did horns become so wimpy?
There's gonna be that exact query is gonna be on the internet. Agreed?
Hold on. Why did horns become so wimpy? And then I have either options of in the 1800s or in medieval times.
Maybe
which one would we like to look?
Well, I think our best bet, of course, to have any information on automobiles would have to be the medieval times.
All right.
Why didn't you type car horn?
This just. Oh, you want it to be in car horns?
Why not? That's what we're talking about.
Okay. Why did horns become so wimpy in cars?
No. Why did car horns become so wimpy?
Okay.
Why did horns become so wimpy in cars?
Let me just hold on. So far, what I have typed up is why did car horns become so wimpy in cars? And here are my options.
Okay.
In medieval times, and trucks, and coffee,
sure.
Movies.
Coffee. What? I think we're gonna have
in
to
car
go...
movies.
Oh,
yeah.
What? I think we're gonna have to. I mean, based on the fact that we've had that come up twice now, we have to go with medieval times.
All right, boom. The first thing that comes up is a Reddit link that just says, "What is the history and reasoning of bull/cow/steer horns?" There is a why are Japanese horns so wimpy compared to American?
Well, that's because we're the best.
Well, so we both drive Japanese cars, I believe.
Yeah.
Or no, I drive a Korean car.
What
Kia.
Make is your car? Oh, that's Korean? I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, we both drive Asian cars.
I mean, aren't Toyotas really, they're not really assembled in Japan anymore, are they?
Are things assembled in Japan anymore? I would assume quite a bit still. Well, I know with a lot of car manufacturers, they kind of changes, like development and design kind of jumps around. So, they're like, so for instance, like Volkswagen, depending on what year the American end of the company might do the car designs for that year or some shit. Like, I think it moves and jumps around. So somebody just said they'd like to think, says, I like to think it's just a thing they have in Japan for whatever reason. Things are quiet as far as noise pollution is concerned with cars/motor vehicles. So maybe it's a noise pollution thing. So they make car horns quieter.
It's probably that. Just like the high efficiency washing machines.
Yeah. So not exactly sure, what happened to car horns in medieval times. So
I thought we were being told. I mean, we had two different results for two different searches say the same thing.
Super weird that would come up.
Yeah. Do you think it's weird that, I mean, this is based off commercials I've seen, but it seems like they still sort of design a car with like clay. They're like carving out the details and they sort of make it that way. Or at least that's how they show the concept. I feel like,
I'm not sure if they still do that, but I feel like sometimes they're going to design it on computer and everything. And then they probably sculpt a clay version of it, maybe to just do like the aerodynamic testing and all that kind of stuff on a model. But
don't you think they could
3D print that shit now?
Print it by now.
I'm sure they can 3D print it now.
I just remember seeing some commercials not that long ago where they're still showing someone like, scraping out the details of a clay block.
It's commercial. It's just all,
We're stuck in the past. Shop with
Yeah.
us. Buy our
this
car.
is how they did it in medieval times.
Medieval times.
I don't know why it came out like that. Medieval times.
December 12th.
That's how they carved out their cars back in medieval times.
That's why the horns were so strong or weak, I guess. I don't know what's happening in the medieval times as far as car horns are concerned. I was let down by those results, to be honest.
So
Matt,
So Sean, I'm gonna show you an image of a car horn.
From the medieval times?
No, from just regular, because you don't think they're actually horns.
I see. Okay.
You could just Google it quickly. Because there's no sense in me fucking sending you a link and then having you open that link.
A car horn.
I literally just typed in car horn on Google.
Well, I don't want to risk the...
Oh, sorry. I'm actually on Bing right now. I didn't even realize.
What?
Because I opened that link that I sent you for this thing that we're never going to get to now. and it opened it up in Bing for some reason.
Well, interesting. Okay. Well, we've got a whole bunch of different results.
I mean, there's different styles, but there's some curved horns, which is what I'm used to for a car. Because I've had to replace a car horn before. That's why I know that. All right, I shouldn't say I had to replace the car horn. So my old Oldsmobile, for some reason, the car horn stopped working. It was just a wiring issue. So the wire got cut somehow. So we just rewired it. But when we went to rewire it, there's the car horn. So I know it looked like a little curly, like kind of like a ram horn. It's curly.
Well, I suspect foul play.
Yeah, somebody wanted. Yeah, don't cut my brake lines, cut my horn.
But
like this will show him.
But
he'll never make it out of this alive.
But I was talking about modern cars. You're talking about a 1974 vehicle. I'm like,
okay. Did you look up car horns?
Well, yeah, but there's a whole bunch of crap that came up.
Some of them are straight horns. Some of them are still the curvy horns. But I can guarantee you.
But I don't know
how
old these images are. Is this something?
A 2020. What year and model is your car? A 2023? 2024?
Well, if I'm going to go with the Hebrew calendar, it's the year 5783.
What's your car according to the Gregorian calendar?
It's 2023.
A 2023 Toyota?
Look up just 2023 Corolla car horn. The Toyota is implied.
Car horn for a 2023 Toyota Corolla. Oh, look at that. It's like a little curvy horn. There's a Farbin waterproof. You can get it at Walmart. Waterproof air hook auto horn. Go to Toyota parts and accessories.
Wait, did you look?
Oh, that's way more. I have to look up everything again.
Did you look up Toyota Corolla?
Apparently I looked up Toyotas. I hit S instead of A.
Front car super sound signal front or horn for Toyota Corolla Cross 2022.
Yeah, they're all the little curly horns, dude.
What do you mean the curly? I guess we can't. We're not showing each other what we're seeing, so this is stupid. This is pointless. I'm looking at an image, and you're looking at a completely different image, I'm sure. And we're like, yeah, they're both the same.
Possibly.
See, Sean, you found the same image I did. I'm like, not necessarily.
They are like it's round. It has a little bell end coming out, kind of like a French horn.
Is it black?
Yes.
Then we might be looking at something similar.
It's like a French horn.
Okay. That's so bizarre.
That's what a car horn looks like. Yeah.
That's still that. Wow.
That's exactly what the car horn in my fucking 1974 Oldsmobile looked like. It was just a little like curly front. Basically, yeah. I mean, it was a little older, but yeah, it had that same curly design, looked like a French horn.
I mean, where are the advancements in car horn technology?
It's one of those things, Sean, that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, what's the point of redesigning the car horn? There's nobody clamoring for we need to redesign the car horn.
Yeah, but that would be a selling point, I think. We have the most efficient car horn. We have the most acoustically pleasant car horn. Because what if you design a car horn that works so well that you can almost not hear it inside the car, but it's very, very audible outside of the car? Because you're wanting other drivers to hear it, not yourself.
Yeah, but you need to know that it made noise. So if you're honking at somebody and you're like, oh, I don't even know, my horn doesn't seem to be working, and then you're constantly and everybody outside of your car is getting pissed off because you're continuously honking because you don't think your horn works.
There's a digital display that says horn honk successful every time you press it.
Yeah, but what if just because that sensor is reading that you've pressed the button and that it's relayed to the horn, that doesn't really say that the horn actually made any noise.
Look, if you can't trust the company in manufacturing a horn that works properly with these features, then the company is not doing its job.
Yeah, so then therefore they should have just not messed with something that was already working correctly.
But I think it'd be so cool. Right?
Why? Explain to me why you think it would be cool.
I just
In
think
10
we're due
words.
for an update. I just think we are due for a horn upgrade.
Well done. Why? In 5 words.
Because the technology is old or outdated. Could be a 5th word. Look, let's get Silicon Valley on this. They're the ones who run the world now.
Like,
Let's make a car horn app.
I
want a
doing
smart
certain
horn.
things like getting away from steam engine vehicles. And
We're still working on it.
I get like
My horn is
advancements.
steam powered.
I get advancements in technology that make things more energy efficient. Or
That's what I'm saying. This horn is going to be more efficient.
How?
Acoustically.
Explain acoustic efficiency to me.
It's going to take
20
less...
words. I'll give you 20 words.
Can I go under 20 words? Does it have to
Nope.
be exact?
Yes. Explain acoustic efficiency to me.
Acoustic efficiency is when it takes much less air flowing through the system to produce the same amount of sound. Piss off.
Well done on the amount of words getting it out there.
That's what acoustic efficiency is,
that was
too.
word efficiency.
Yeah?
You used the exact amount of words. Like, jumping into that, did you know exactly how to get to where you were going? And you nailed it.
I fell into it.
You fell into that
like,
perfectly.
Once I was on like 17, I'm like, this is going to work. Oh my God, this is going to work.
Gotta start giving you wackier numbers. I should have given you exactly 17. That would have been perfectly like,
yeah,
fuck.
you've been throwing out these easy round numbers at me.
Yeah.
10, 5. Like, give me like 27 words, 90, 10 words, 90, 10, 100.
90, 10 is quite a,
It's quite
9,000. That's 9,010 words.
Give me, oh yeah, you're right. Oh no. Well, I'm going to have to get back to you on that one.
9,010 words or
I'm
more.
going to have to get back to you on that.
Or
what?
more.
Now it's or more, but not less.
Well, no, not less. When it's that many or more.
That's wait. Is that how essays work? Isn't it like that? The minimum. They always give you the minimum number of
it's
words,
minimum.
right?
Not the max. 2,000 words or more.
Oh, it's 2,000 now?
I don't know. It would be funny if there was like an essay or something that you had to write and it said in exactly this many words.
Yeah. And so the greatness of the thing was great because of the thing, period. You write out your punctuation mark. You write out the word period as a period. You write out the word exclamation point. Then you go over. You're like, oh man, I can't continue this theme.
I mean, if the word period is like part of the sentence, then it works to write the word period.
Yes, but I'm saying you end a sentence with the word period instead of the actual punctuation mark. Because the period itself, if you just type a period, that wouldn't count as a word.
Right.
But you're trying to stretch it.
What if you were trying to like write something and putting the word period, though you needed it, was going to be one word too many? So then you just put a period in there in representation of the word.
I don't think your emphasis would come across in that form.
Like
so
during,
you'd have to explain it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a period of time in the world.
That's why to avoid that, I just
during the Jurassic
dot
end of that sentence.
That's why I to avoid going over, I use the more efficient term menstrual cycle.
That's more words.
Exactly. That's the joke. You got it. It didn't go over your head at all. Listeners appreciated it. See you next Tuesday.
That's how we're ending.
Well, what else are we going to do?
I know we did not get into the thing we were supposed to get into today at all, but we hit something Christmassy for a short period of time at the beginning. So we We still completed the
we
brief.
met the criteria. We met the criteria.
Yeah.
Also, students, turn your textbooks to page 203 and read stuff on it.
And then promptly close your book because
Right,
this
'cause we're
episode
done.
is over.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, that kept us in the high school related criteria.
Yeah.
Which I don't remember when we last reported on our standings for the top 20 or whatever.
Oh yeah,
high
have you looked it
school-related
up
podcast.
recently?
I have.
Oh boy,
We're number 3.
is that our
don't
best
remember
showing
where-
so far?
I think, well, yes, I don't think we were ever 2. We definitely weren't 1. I just don't
Yeah.
remember the last time I looked if we were 3 or lower.
I wonder how
But-
many people have read that article.
No clue.
Yeah,
I don't know. It seems like stuff like this can't be quantified on the internet. Now, how many listeners / subscribers we have?
the only
How
thing
many
that
people
can be
read about
quantified
our-
is where we are on that list.
Exactly. We're number 3.
There you go.
We're like the Myanmar of countries that use the
Imperial system.
system.
Yeah, we're third on that list. We need to be the U.S.
We need to be the USA of
podcasts.
that. I forgot what we were.
We need to be the
I
imperial
forgot.
system of podcasts.
Yeah.
You don't want to be like all those other.
We,
You don't want to be like all those other countries that use the fucking metric system. They're just
We
one of
wanna be-
thousands.
we want to be statistically the least popular, but claim to be the best.
Yeah,
Which I think we do. No, we don't even do that.
yeah. We don't
claim
want to be.
the best.
We don't want to be one of these other countries like I don't know,
France.
Andorra, to name a weird one.
No one wants to be Andorra.
It's right next to France. It's in between France and Spain. It's a little tiny like bean of a country
A lima bean?
within the borders. Like so, you know, how France and Spain, France and
Within
Spain
the-
are like this.
Hold on, within the borders.
So it's weird, right? So have you ever looked at
That's a
closely?
city.
Have you ever looked closely at the map of the Europe map and see? So you see Spain and
Not
France
for
is right
years.
next to it, and like
Yeah.
along that border, there's just a little country, just kind of in the middle of that. So it's like this line, and then a little bean of a country, and then more line.
What the heck? Who-
Yeah, Andorra. There you go.
Wow. They're surrounded
Yeah,
by the French and the Spanish.
yeah.
Wow.
My dream. See you next.
See you next Tuesday.
Tuesday. Goodbye. Bye.
If you have a question, complaint, or threat for Sean or Matt, you can reach us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, X, or Instagram at HSFamousPod, or you can email the show at highschoolfamous@gmail.com. No animals were pleasured during the making of this podcast, despite our best efforts. All hail our Lord and Savior.
Was I dumb as a child or ambitious?
Dumb.
Oh, what about now?
You're no longer a child.
Neither. Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I
you're
meant.
no longer a child or ambitious. You're just dumb.